Hello, gamers. What's up? How's it going? Whoa, whoa. Well, we're here. Oh my gosh. We are lifelink maxing. I have 7 lifelink cards in my deck. I've got a second. It's Cloak and Dagger. I've got this Night Nurse here. We'll see how it goes. I'm already late, so we're getting into it. Oh boy. This is very similar to the list that I played last week. But as I was kind of talking about in the midst of that league, the White Orchid Phantoms weren't feeling great, so I just made some changes. I really want to try out 2 Cloak and Dagger. Just want to see how 2 feels. I think I played 2 like once, and then I like immediately cut back down to 1. Canoptic Scarab is just the most fun card ever, so I'm keeping it in here. And then Night Nurse is a card that I've talked about but haven't really like actually played with. It is a lot like Samwise, a card that I think kind of sucks. But the 2 things that I think matter a lot with this card are, 1, like lifelink is a pretty real keyword in a lot of matchups. And the other thing is that it feels, I don't want to say it feels like a pretty big difference that Night Nurse works with a card of yours going to the graveyard from anywhere, as opposed to Samwise specifically having to be cards going to the graveyard from play. Like I think that's like a pretty severe limitation in terms of what you can do with it, because you can't use it if your opponent, you can't use it against your opponent like very reactively all that well, because they have to like bolt or push something or like wasteland you, I guess. But like now you can use Night Nurse when something gets Thought Seized, when something gets Force of Willed or whatever. Those are really cool, I think. Ponder Shuffle. If I draw a Wasteland, I will use it. Otherwise, I will probably cast Thalia here. Yeah, we're gonna go Thalia. We can get basic Swamp, basic Plains. Okay, that's fine. Go ahead and Thought Seize. Least Thought Seizable hands. My opponent could take Formal Wear if they care about Thalia specifically, but if they take the Formal Wear, I am almost certainly going to Stone Forge for another Formal Wear. I don't know if I'm winning. I mean, if this is just blue-black tempo, I'm definitely winning, but if I'm getting Fantastic Art, who knows? Takes a Stoneforge Mystic. Huh. This hand can go on for like a billion turns, so I think I'm going to get the Formal Wear. Or I think I'm going to get the Thalia with this Formal Wear if the Formal Wear resolves. It does not. It's Force. pitching Tameo. Okay, so it is just Dimir tempo. Okay. Play around a days, why not? This is just gonna get another formal wear. Play this tapped. Have fun. Mm-hmm. Is this another flow state? Gross. They're already back up to 6 cards, huh? Let's just draw a lands. If we get to cast Recruiter and put in formal wear, that'll feel pretty good. Okay. I'm probably gonna cast Recruiter here for mana efficiency reasons, but what would I get with a Recruiter as part of the deal? Um, let me think. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm gonna cast it. Let's see what happens. I think I want it to be something inexpensive, since my opponent could waste me down to 3 lands. It's getting forced. Force pitch, force negation. Okay. Well, those flow states don't feel so bad if it just my opponent's throwing the card advantage away with every card I cast. They also know I have formal wear in my hand, so this looks like a Murktide that's happening right now. It is a Murktide. Exiled both flow states, so they're not going to have a Mystic Sanctuary. That's fine. No reason to let this Swords to Plowshares get dazed, so I'll only cast it if I am about to get Thoughtseized. No, another whiff. Yeah, we're fine. Land here would be nice. Okay, that's fine. Ponder resolves. They shuffle off the ponder. Another ponder. They don't shuffle off of that one. So I could just eat this by formal wearing back my Thalia. But I think this Netherglyph is like so non-threatening that that's worse than just like bringing back my recruiter. Maybe when they're at maybe I will bring back Thalia. I'm not convinced that this is actually right, but it is funny, so. Nice. And what am I going to do here? I could Scarab Swarm. I could Cloak and Dagger. I could Night Nurse with this fetch land. Whoa. So Scarab Swarm would only get 3 tokens off of them. I'm here for Cloak and Dagger. It's possible Stoneforge is better there since I still have Meteor Sword in my deck, but it's less exciting when I've gone through both of my formal wares. Just passing, huh? Works for me. Hey, look who it is. I like that this can't get fatal pushed right now. I think that's pretty swell. Curious what's in their hand that like they cast nothing. Could be a Bowmaster. Fatal push on Thalia. Okay. Okay, sure. Mm, I'll take the Bowmaster. My phone is ringing, but I'm pretty sure it's spam. Yeah, it is. All better. Okay. So what did I see? Yeah, Misty, Ponder, Bowmasters. Those are gone. So they have Fetch, something, and then this Ponder card. They didn't shuffle. It's a Nethergoyf. Okay. And they're keeping the Mystery Reinforced in hand, I guess, for brainstorm purposes. Nope, never mind. It is right there. Not bad. I'm just going to see what happens when I attack with Cloak and Dagger. Okay. Fine with that. I think I'm just going to pick up Yorion, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens next. 4/4 reminds me of the stat block of the new Fitch. Dude, you gotta chill. That's a good one, though. Katie, I hope you're paying attention. Another Bowmasters. Wow. So lucky. Huh? What? It is giving up. I mean, I sort of get getting up in their situation, but look at all of this lifelink I have in play right now. It's crazy. So I don't have as many cards to board out as I usually do. Maybe I do something like this. This looks okay. Yeah, we'll try that. Yo, we're gonna surveil. We're gonna draw a card. Let's do it. This hand's pretty fine. My opponent's mulling to 6. Okay, basic island off the start makes this erode feel a little bit better. So that's cool. Given the structure of our hand, I think we are going to try to play it a little greedy with the Night Nurse. We're going to try to use the Surveil as a draw card, if possible. Okay, yeah, we definitely don't need lands, so... Not the right move. Goodbye, Night Nurse. Well, at least I can just Surveil now, I guess. Sure. Hey, what's up, Sam? Glad you could join us. Okay. My opponent missed their land drop. So there should be something juicy to Thoughtseize here. Okay, yeah, it is all interaction. I think I just want to take the Thoughtseize. Is that weird? I think I just want to make sure that I get to cast this Erode. Hi, Molly. How you doing? Yeah, I'm going to take the Thoughtseize. I guess maybe I could have taken the Murktide region instead. Okay, I really don't need more lands. Thank you. Gross. That was the card I wanted to Thoughtseize. Sure. Oh, they actually didn't have an instant in the yard. I missed that. Okay, that's a good one. So Stoneforge, I think we just go straight for the Meteor Sword here. I don't really have anything exciting to formal here. I think Lion's Ash is the one other potential option here. Lion Sash does kind of look nice into these nether glyphs, and it's just like a little bit safer than the meteor sword. I guess one way to look at formal wear is that like formal wear Thalia is probably also going to be tough for them to deal with. None of these choices feel bad, that's for sure. I guess formal wear is probably a decent enough combination of like safe, we will get something out of it no matter what, and getting Thalia back will be enough of an engine that we should just go for that. So I think that's what we'll do. Yep. I'll take one more hit. Ooh. I guess I can let that happen. I can still take one more hit because I'd rather like Skyclave that than erode it. I mean, it would be pretty convenient to never deal with this Murktide. I'm getting kind of a little bit low, but oh, that does make them 4/5s. I should have thought of that. Okay, so I think I'm blocking, eroding one, and then next turn I'll formal wear. I think that's what we're doing. Hmm. That is that instant in the yard? No, it's not. Right, they fatal push. They have another island. Okay. That's crazy. Oh, I should have played Crocus there. Kind of like blocked one and then formal wear to get Thalia, and then Thalia formal wear gets the Stoneforge back. And yeah. That's kind of like what I was trying to go for, but maybe I was just playing it a little too safe. I think here I should go for Stoneforge. Sash is, I think I'll just formal wear them every turn, I guess. I see arguments for Meteor Sword there for sure, but since they just brainstormed, I'm a little wary of getting like them having like kept like a cantrip in their hands so that they can find like a fatal push or whatever. It's a little risky. I'm gonna take this hit. Wastelands, okay. Barrogoyf, okay. I'm glad I took the hit. Okay, I really don't need more lands, but okay. So I can. I just have to cast this Formulary, don't I? Because this is like I can't. Yeah, so I have to. Hmm. I think I messed up here somewhere. I feel like I did something wrong. But what I can do is cast the Formalware to bring back Night Nurse, move both Formalwares to the Night Nurse, and then I have a 6/5 lifelinker. Or no, it's equip 3, so I can't do that. There's something I can do here. I think we have to. I think it is actually like I would just rather not put myself to 3 because I don't need the extra land. Yeah, so now I can give them a Barrogoyf trigger or I think I have to let them have a Barrogoyf trigger. I think I do this. I wonder if I needed to just lose to push so that I could put Yorion in my hands here. That might have been that's something I should have thought of. I feel like I am not playing this game well at all. They get a Bowmasters. Shocker. It's casting. What is this? Toxic Deluge. That's what it is. No, that. Oh, okay. That's what it is. That's what it is. Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Any creature I live, specifically like Solitude, is kind of what I'm looking for here. Sash. That's gotta be something, right? Okay, how small can I make the Goyf? They have 3 lands, so I can make them 3/4s. They have 2 creatures to also make them 3/4s, and I can make them 2/3s given what we know right now, because I can get rid of Fatal Push as their only instant and the 2 creatures to make them 2/3s. Let's hope it works. I will do this now so that I can't get bowmastered. All right, that goif's gonna be a 4/5 no matter what. So I can't make the nether goif any smaller. Or no, this still makes it a 2/3, but I would still be chump blocking the barrow goif. That is probably worse than just making my sash bigger, so I think I'll do that. Now we can do this. We could have attacked, but I don't necessarily like committing the sash mana, like all of that mana on my main phase, which is what I would have to do if I wanted to attack. I guess I guess I could make them block is the option. Okay, we knew this was coming. We have to get a 2-drop, which is really just gonna be Stoneforge, get Meteor Sword, Prey. They have days. Okay. I definitely played that game like very wrong somewhere. I'm certain of it. Seems pretty wastelandable, but it's very good otherwise. Another basic island. Oh right, they showed us 2, so okay. Yep. Looks like it's getting dazed, probably. Yeah. Okay. Lands, please. Land would be perfect. No. Okay. I already have a formal wear, so I think I am just gonna go for Meteor Sword here. Okay, my Stoneforge is untapping. They could have Snuff Out, I guess. Snuff Out or Massacre. We saw a Massacre. They milled to a Barrowwife, I think. Nope, it's untapping. And they go to cleanup. Jeez. All right, let's please draw lands, though. If not, I will Meteor Sword. Probably their Swamp. Nice. I think with a hand this deck, I just don't want to get thoughts used is the idea behind taking the Swamp. I also know they have multiple basic islands, which means that if I have like an erode later or something, I know they can't just like get a black source with it. I guess I shouldn't say they're already playing one more basic than normal, so who knows. You got it. Nice. Whoops. I was supposed to use the Swamp there. Blech. Yep, they already have sorcery lands instant, so I don't think they have any real ways to make that a 4/5 at instant speed. Yeah, you got it. I dare you to wasteland my Caracas opponent. Let's see. Sorcery, 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 instant, instant, instant. So yeah, we can't turn off this flow state. So that'll just resolve. They got a basic again, huh? Is this a Murktide? That's what it's smelling like right now. This is a really bad time for them to be tapping out for a Murktide, so that works for me. All right, let's start with, let's make sure I didn't just misclick that. There we go. How about that? All right, we're in Mangara Town. Cool. Yeah, I feel like that I played that game too really badly, but it's one of those ones where it's a little tough to identify because I feel like I was playing with subpar options, but I still feel like there was a path to victory there with the options with the tools I did have. I just have to take some time to like look through it. Who's excited for EW to be functionally 2 months away? I know I am. I missed it last year. I'm also going to be taking the train there, which will be fun. Oh, I just processed that this is the mirror fun. No, it's not the mirror. Okay. Oh, that's how it is. Palace Jailer has Palace Jailer has entered the chat. I maybe should have just cast Thalia here, but I don't know. Vial is pretty busted. It is not the mirror because they're playing blue, but they are playing Palace Jailer. I'm guessing this is just like blue white Vial. Could still be Esper, but it seems less likely. I maybe should have played the planes there to pretend like I'm mono white because they're probably gonna scoop before I have to show them a black card. All right, cool. Let's bring in all of these. Let's cut these Thalias. Cut Felia. I maybe want the flutes, but it's hard to tell right now. I'll trim a formal wear. Let's go with it. This actually could also be a spot where I want to get rid of the Lion Sash. I don't like cutting Lion Sash on the actual mirror because like a big part of the end game is just like looping formal wear over and over. But this probably isn't going to be a Stoneforge list, so I think I'm probably supposed to trim Lion Sash. This hand's pretty slow. There could literally be any creature. There is definitely going to be a soul herder in their list. Let's be real. I'm gonna go for it. Okay. You got it. See, this is what's funny. It's just you have to guess. You just have to guess what I have. Um, I'm just gonna removal check them here, I think. Ooh, yes, thank you. Ooh, that feels good. I think I'm gonna recruit for a land. Yeah, we're recruiting for a land. Real ones, no. Okay, they are Esper. Yeah, recruiting land drop. It's funny because it's like there's sometimes when recruiting a land drop is like so obviously the thing you should be doing, but I really like the times when it's actually like really not obvious and it makes you feel so smart. All right, let's get that Yoran out of there. Hey, look, it's a Thalia they can't cast. Yep, let's get Yorion out of there. Thank you. So that is their hand. I think I'm just gonna wisp my recruiter to get another land. Yeah, that is what I'm doing. Too bad I can't play it right now, but Esper makes trying to come with the most blue-white creature they could get you with less money. Willy Lumpkin? Is that in what is that? course, that's a Marvel card. Wow, top deck recruiter, so lucky. I'm gonna get a Bowmasters here probably. Yep. All right, now we're cooking. I think I just want to Cloak and Dagger the Solitude out of their hands. Does that make any sense? Or is that just dumb? If Solitude is like the only card in their hand that's like good and that I care about at all, which is kind of why I'm leaning in that direction. Because I'd rather not be in the spot where like I solitude, like I don't want to be I want to be the second person to solitude, but I don't really feel like I have anything that um forces my opponent to solitude themselves. So I think that's what kind of why I like opening with Cloak and Dagger here. I'm surprised they didn't cast the Bowmaster there. I do kind of want that. No, I don't need it that badly. I don't think I need it enough to keep it on top on purpose. Okay. Not particularly good right now, but might be good later, I think is the way to look at that one. Um, I think I'm just picking up Yorion here. Yeah. They keep a card on top. And now they cast the Bowmasters. I assume that's killing the Flicker Wisp here. Killing the Recruiter. Huh. Okay. So their hand is Witch Enchanter and Felia, but they can't cast the Felia because of their Meddling Mage. There's the Witch Enchanter. Did they just draw their own Meteor Sword? Quantum Riddler. Okay. Oh, they bolted it in so that they draw an extra card. That's what's happening here. Well, I am going to kill this in response to that. So they still only get one card. So their hand is Felia and then +1. Now that their hand is like really I guess I could take this. I could Wrath for 2 next turn. That's a lot of my mana though. I think I'm gonna take this block. They can cast the Felia. I have a Solitude for it. I have a Caracas for it. I have another Solitude for it. Yeah, I guess we're just going into Solitude Town now. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this now. They have Force. I don't want to give them the opportunity to draw. Another good thing to not let them draw. So they are able to pick up. Yeah, so this happens. They can now cast their Solitude. I think we go and I'm gonna start off with this. The worst case scenario is I can get rid of this Orc army. I assume this is going to mean they cast the Solitude. I assume they probably are also going to Solitude my Solitude. Yeah, okay. Yep, okay. Get rid of that. We can cast an Aether Vial. And then chill. Um, yeah, I'll take that block. It's a little confusing. Now we're cooking. I want to pay full for this. Hardcast Force. Airtie Resurrected. Whoa. So I have the I will draw a card, and my opponent's Bowmaster will trigger. Whoa. They really could have any creature. Okay. So I'm taking what, 3, 4, 5. So I'm taking 6. And then I get to Wrath for, I guess I just get to Wrath next turn. Which is maybe a reason that I shouldn't have played my Vial, but I think not playing the Vial would have been weird. They mill. Oh right, they have Caracas for their Airtie, huh? So they could just Caracas Airtime my Wrath of the Skies. Okay, I think I have options here. There's nice. Thank you for doing this Scryfall query. I really appreciate that. Okay, I think that will be okay here, even though I didn't really want it to be this complicated. Oh, I'm at I don't think my opponent's playing Caracas or playing Wasteland, so. I'm just gonna try to go to blocks here, basically. Really? You drew a Solitude? Oh my god. Brutal. Okay. All right, how do I do this right? So I need to get the Airtight out of their hand. Thoughtseize is the most brute force way to do that, but it is also really I basically can't use the Thoughtseize because I need to Wrath. After they cast the Airtight, I need to Wrath for 4, which means I have to crack this fetch land, which means I'd go down to 3, which means that this Solitude that I can't kill because I can only Wrath for 4 here would kill me. I guess I could do that, but then I'd have to pitch this Solitude. I'd have to pitch Yorion to my Solitude, which would be like really bad. Because when the airtight, because no, I can't see it. Because airtight could just kill something, right? Hold on. Yeah, so they'll airtie and kill my Thalia. Um, but I guess that is an option here. I guess. I would go to 4 Solitude, the airtie. Yeah, I guess that is the way I have to do it here. Because at least having a lifelinker in play changes the math a lot. And I guess what I also should do is attack first to get rid of their orc army and see. I guess we'll see if they actually. We should try to go to combat and see if they let the attack happen. Because if they kill, yeah, okay. Because that 1 damage is probably going to matter, honestly. So now we do this. They do this. I assume they are going to kill Felia. So what I could do actually, so I can bounce Felia. I would take 2 from Thoughtseize, go to 4, fetch down to 3. I can fetch down to 3, kill the Airtie. That and that's good because so I wouldn't draw a card here, but my opponent won't be getting a Bowmaster trigger. So I think that's actually really important. So this whiffs. We just take 2. We go to 3. Do this. Kill Airtie. Okay. What a nightmare. But we're out of it. Skyclave on my vial. I don't care about that. That's fine. Let's Wrath for 3. Wait, Wrath for 3 and cast Valia? What? Oh, they have the Karakas for the Felia, so I guess that doesn't really matter, but I will get to Surveil here, which is nice. Nope. They have Consign. Boo. My opponent keeps drawing some heaters off the top. There's a Solitude they cast the other turn. They're casting a White Human Recruiter. That's really bad. They have Palace Jailer in their deck. You have Emperor of Bones in there? Hello? You're taking my own Overlord? That's so messed up. Okay. All right, I know a bit more of what's going on here. Another double Caracas hand. I'm gonna keep it, but no. This Thoughtseize has. Does this Thoughtseize have one purpose? My hand is a little iffy. Normally, Thoughtseize is really for that Yorion, but I think the first one we'll use now. They have Riddler, Plague Engineer, Recruiter. Okay. You have asked, and they don't, or she doesn't. I think I'm taking Riddler. It's Riddler or Recruiter. Let's go for Riddler. Okay, I really didn't need that. Come on, deck. Did you draw a Bowmaster off the top? No, Felia. Okay. Brutal. Well, that sucks. Why does my opponent keep drawing the nuts off the top? It's like I can't like beat that right now. Because I just get to double Recruiter. Yeah, the double block could definitely be worse. Containment Priest. Okay. I doing here? I think I should formal wear now while they don't have a containment priest in play. It's just kind of a bummer when they have the Skyclave right there to answer this Stoneforge that is going to get a Meteor Sword, but I think I'm supposed to force the issue. I guess I probably could have attacked first, but there's like no way they block, right? I will attack now, though. And they have the Erode up now, too? Come on. Give me a break. Oh, because they're going to erode my Stoneforge, I assume. I think I'm pretty okay with this, though. It does sort of make sense that that's what they have to do, though. I think I'm just passing. My hope is that I get to... the Recruiter is probably going to die to the Plague Engineer. My hope is that I'm going to get to Felia, the formal wear, to bring it back afterwards. We have 2 removal spells now to deal with the Containment Priest and the Plague Engineer, so hopefully that should all just line up well. Yep. I guess I get to eat a Recruiter for free here? They don't have black mana. And even if they do, I have the Caracas, so... There's the islands. Would be nice if these Caracases were real cards. Ugh. If they go for this block, I will bounce. Gotta use this for something, right? All right. Formal War trigger targets the recruiter. This is when the containment priest gets cast. I get to plow it. All right, cool. Do I Scarab Swarm them? I think it's Scarab Swarm or a land again. I kind of like land here though. Or I could get a Cloak and Dagger since they are probably going to be um, putting Yorion into their hands. I'm going to try that actually. I also have to start making decisions faster because, yeah, clock is low. Easy block, taking it. Okay. This is still in their main phase. Okay. I'm going to go for this now. What do you got? Nothing. Okay. I will take your Skyclave. Oh, they had the Caracas there. That was bad. That was silly. I totally missed that was a Caracas in their hands. Whoa. Yeah, so they get to take my formal away. That was bad. That was a bad trade, but okay. That should be fine. Felia. I was not going to cast Felia at this point. That's fine. I'm just going to cast this right now on that Loki. Brutal. I was about to use that Wasteland. They didn't put Yorion in their hands. So they're getting dangerously close to the point where okay, I was gonna do that. Let's do this. Now if they Yorion, they don't even do anything good, so okay, they kept a card on top. Kind of smell like a Solitude right now. But I'll make them show me what it is. Bowmasters. That's not very good. I don't care about giving that back to him. Attack with 3/3. If they give me an opportunity to trade something with the Containment Priest, I will take the trade. Six is Wrath for a million. This is going to work out really well for me. Oh my god. I'm no. Okay, fine. We'll wait a turn. I'm supposed to kill that and then kill their Caracas, but here we are instead. Whatever. Yorion's in their hands. And they're casting it? No. Casting a Tamer Priest for clock here. I'm sorry, chat. I will not be paying attention for a minute. Solitude. Air tie again. Okay. What's getting killed? Cloak and Dagger, I guess, probably. Sure. Well, that works. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay, cool. Would you quit drawing Caracas, please? That's so annoying. Yeah, you got it. I'm just flashing Infelia here. I don't care. Also, that's been dealt with. I can get rid of that. Yeah, sure. Top deck a consign again, huh? Well, it's gonna go long tonight, guys, but at least we're winning so far. Whew. All right. Ooh. Oops. Oh, don't get me wrong. I would like a break, but kinda don't have time to take one. We will keep this hand and put a mulligan to 6. I already stayed up too late last night playing Big Walk with friends for the first time. So I'm a little behind on sleep right in going into stream time, but it is what it is. Ponder, never heard of it. Oh, is it card time? Oh no, it's something else entirely. Oh, I mean, could be better. Could be blowing up an omniscience, but I'll take it. Okay, it is Allurin. So my opponent will be taking a Lotus Petal and a Lurin. Lotus Petal, Lurin, Trop. One of these. Or no, oh, they have Trop or Besage, but I assume it's going to be Trop. We'll see. Stock up, Lotus Petal. They kept the Besage and the Acererak, so it was those cards, and they also cast the Lotus Petal. Okay. Um. Okay. I guess take the Solitude and maximize the interaction in my hand right now. I'm pretty sure I got their Allurin covered. Yep. Yeah, we are lifelink maxing again. Seems like a good spot for Cloak and Dagger, probably. Or I could just wisp my Meteor Sword. I could save Cloak and Dagger for an Alurin turn, potentially. Hmm. I could also, like, recruit Athalia, but they have a lot of mana in place. That doesn't feel very good. Um, I could wisp the Overlord, put a clock on him. Hmm. I think, yeah, I'm gonna cast the Wisp. And I think the clock is better right now than just like killing a Trop or a Tomb or whatever. Ooh, are you using Beseiju here? Okay, cool. That works for me. I don't want another Stoneforge, so we'll get rid of that. Oh, we're Allurin. There is an Allurin happening. Let's cast this first. They have another Asera rack. Okay, well, I sure can deal with that. That's totally fine. So I will exile this. They scry one. I guess technically this give I should take the one from their hand because this method gives them an extra dungeon trigger, which almost certainly doesn't matter, but I guess it like technically could. I'm gonna cast Stoneforge this way for the swag. It is the most fun when Alurintel has to actually win with Alurin, because wow, do we fucking smoke them when Alurin's in play. Mm, I will just attack with these. Yeah. And Yeah, I'm gonna bring back Thalia with this. I guess maybe that's not even better than having the white card in my hands. No, because I can bounce it with the Crocus, so. That is true, actually. We don't even need an extra card because yeah, we just bounce the Cloak and Dagger. Yeah, so this doesn't matter. So I'm glad I'm learning this. Yeah, so we bounce this, one dies to the legend rule, and then we just flash the Cloak and Dagger right back in. That's sick, actually. I love when my opponent has a Lurin in play. It's so fun. Still just dead on board. All right, cool. That was really fun, actually. I think we're gonna do these. I don't want Sash. I don't want another extra formal wear. Not really a Scarab Swarm matchup. Um, it both is and isn't a Thalia matchup, which makes it a little tricky. This one is called Cloak and Dagger Entwined. Not just Cloak and Dagger, because that is an equipment from Morningtide, I think. Probably don't need Night Nurse. That's not going to do anything. We also don't necessarily have to bring in these surgicals. When I was playing against this deck last week, I had White Orchid Phantoms in my deck that were very easy to cut, but I have fewer easy cuts here. So I think I'm probably not bringing in surgical. I could cut Skyclave. Because I have like Skyclave is important to have in your deck to answer the Acera rack in an Allurin chain with a recruiter, but we already have another Skyclave and 2 Cloak and Daggers that can do that. I think I'm actually just gonna cut a Felia, because this isn't really a matchup that's about Felia. So let's try that instead. Yeah, Felia is definitely not great. This hand is okay. I don't think this I'm not thrilled about this hand, but I don't think it is worth mulliganing. I keep a card on top. Ooh, brainstorm locked. Never mind. I will be casting Thalia, Guardian of Thraben here. Yep. Sure. That's how it's going to be, huh? Well, yeah, I'll keep that. It's not super exciting, but I think it's better than a random card off the top. I mean, it basically represents the top 4 cards in my deck, essentially, so. And the only card that I would really like to draw that I guess it's like Thought Seizes and Disruptor Fleets are the cards that I would really like to draw that Overlord can't get, but that's still a pretty small sample. I will take Skyclave. So we now have 3 ways to interact with Show and Tell of putting in Omniscience, which is pretty good. Um, yeah. I think I'm gonna keep the Vial on 3 for now, since I'm gonna be able to cast a Solitude for a clock here. Alright. They have just found nothing, huh? I was wondering if that was gonna be like a hard cast force. This lets me put Meteor Sword into my hand, which is a big deal. Is this getting hard cast forced? And if so, they are taking 2. So they are dead next turn. Okay. Alright, easy. I'll take it. Much better luck against the Learn Tell lately than when that deck first showed up. I just could not win. Model weight initiative, you say? Um, I don't think I can mulligan this hand, but it doesn't feel that good. It's just pretty clunky. Okay. Imprinting Thalia, how dare you? Turn one, Seasoned Engineer. No, Archon of Emeria, thank God. Okay. So I think if they had a seasoned engineer, they definitely should have just cast it, which gives me hope that like it's not totally over for me. Just a question of, am I playing a fetch land here? Or am I playing the plains? I think I have to play the plains. It just kind of sucks a little bit because it means that I basically have to plow the Archon. How's it going, Fred? Just days. Hope you're doing well, friend. Yeah, I have to do this, so I might as well do it now because I gotta take my turn too. Okay. Spellbinder. Okay. I'm cool with that. I assume that takes my Overlord. Can I impend off of this? I think I can. So I can append it for 4, basically. Recruiter. Interesting. What else are you casting? Thalia. Okay. Great draw. Felia, Cloak and Dagger. I think I'm gonna go for Felia here. Yeah. Felia, their Chrome mocks. The game's like over. We'll see if I get the time to do it, but well, that's another way to do it. All right, they got no white mana. Maybe I was supposed to bolt that in and just formal wear Cloak and Dagger. I do kind of like the idea of getting to cast my Felia here, though. Ooh, especially for that. So their last card in hand is probably a land then if they're pitching a Witch Enchanter instead of like getting a white source into play. Yep, just a plains. I was meant to. Whoops. Oopsie. I was supposed to click there, Thalia. I goofed. Not the most intuitive card to resolve on Moto. What is this? Seasoned Engineer off the top. Okay. Cleric Rogue. So the elite spellbinder can attack. But I can also take that. I can take the initiative right back. That's going to get milled. That's for sure. Yeah. Okay. I take 4. What do we get? I can make 5 Scarab Swarm tokens. I think I should minimize the damage I take just to be like super safe. All right, cool. We got there. Bringing in these. I'm going to cut Sash and a Formal Wear and one Thalia. I think I'll leave it at that. Thalia is not good in this matchup, but also the nature of the initiative is that you kind of have to maximize the number of cheap creatures you have in your deck. So one lander, no removal spell. I don't think I can justify this one. This one's better. My opponent's mulling to 6. This might be. This could be one where we put back the vial. That doesn't totally seem right to me, but I also really would. I don't think I can like mentally recover from the possibility of putting back a land and then not drawing a third land for these 3 drops. So I think I am going to put back the vial because I'm not going to cast it on turn 1. So that's a good sign that they might be passing the turn. Well, imagine them passing the turn. I know it's a Peacekeeper, sure. So they don't really. I mean, they have only 1 card left, so they only have 2 mana, and the most of the cards I care about cost at least 3. So they named Thoughtseize, yeah. Should have named Marsh Flats. Would have fucking got me. Is this non-lands? No, it's any card name. I don't need another recruiter. Now we're cooking. Archon. Is this going to be... Are they casting Archon of Emeria? I sure don't care about that. What do I want to do here? So I can't cast a 3-drop because of the Archon. So I think I'm just playing Marsh Flats. And then I'm just going to pass the turn. And I could maybe like Chump Block, Peacekeeper, Meteor Sword, the Archon, something like that. I could also just kill the Peacekeeper now. Because it's a bigger clock. I think I will do that. I'm only taking 2 damage from the Archon. I don't really care about that. I'm not going to cast multiple spells in a turn for a bit, so. Okay. So my gut feel here is if I take the Archon of Emeria, I can play my Scrubland, immediately Thoughtseize. And then I get to take the Seasoned Dungeoneer. If they plow my Cloak and Dagger and get the Archon of Emeria back, whatever, I don't really care. My plan next turn would be recruit for a Solitude and then cast the Solitude the turn after that. So, yeah, take the Archon out. Thoughtseize. They cast Swords to Plowshares, I assume. But either way, I'm going to take the Seasoned Engineer here. Wow. I'm surprised they did not go for that. Because now I have Crocus up. Another. Yes, please. We're really doing this again? All right, cool. Okay. I feel like I didn't talk much that match, but there wasn't a whole lot to think. Oh my god. I'm sorry I keep doing that. There wasn't a whole lot to think about in that one. But in that situation, we just get to blow up their Chrome Mox, get rid of, take off their white mana again. If they want to get a creature in play, they have to use another Swords to Plowshares, which I can then block with the Flicker Wisp, so it doesn't even matter. Game's very over at that point. It's nothing. They've made so many cards a little bit kind of like Flicker Wisp, but none are like the OG. I am drawing a staggering number of Caracas today, but I will keep this hand. Ponder Shuffle, huh? No fucking way. I've drawn like 13 Caracas in like 2 matches. Ooh, was that a one-lander opponent? Is that what happens? Oh boy. That's right. That's why we wasteland when our opponent shuffles off of a ponder on turn 1. Fortunately, we can't Thoughtseize them, but the hand is like nothing but gas. I don't really want another Thoughtseize. Whoa. Okay, I want that Thoughtseize back. Things are starting to make a little bit more sense. But okay, so I think the plan here will be Thoughtseize, recruit for Thalia, and Lotus Petal one of my 3 Caracas to cast the Thalia. They play a Daze. So this must just be Car then, right? No, it is Doomsday. Okay. Um Oh, they have multiple. They have 3 Force of Wills. Okay. Things are starting to make sense again. Oh, right, because yeah, Bauble is in Doomsday now because of Carr. That's the thing that I'm missing. So we will do this right now. They are gonna Force of Will it. And then I'm gonna do it again. I assume they pitched a flow state. Okay. They don't have the Doomsday. I got rid of that. All right, so their last two cards are Force and Force. Gonna do this, going up to 5. There we go. All right, so let's put Recruiter on the stack first, so we can Cloak and Dagger should resolve first. My opponent has Force, Consider. I do not care about Force of Will at all. I will take the Consider. Um, basically any card I cast, they have to counter. So I'll just get a Thalia, whatever. Okay. And they're over it. Cool. Okay, let's bring in some disruptor fleets, some surgical extractions. I have to bring in Wrath of the Skies for their stupid car, and then a deafening silence. I'm not really interested in Skyclave, definitely not Lion Sash. I don't need two formal wares. Not really interested in Night Nurse, not Scarab Swarm. Um, Maybe we can cut a Felly and an Overlord at the very least. We can also probably cut a land here, and then we're down to just needing one more card. I guess I probably don't want all this removal, right? Like I need some for Car to to beat those draws, but I guess I might want one Skyclave to recruit for, right? Because it's the only answer I have in my deck or sorry, the only recruitable answer to a Fantastic Art in play that hasn't been cracked yet, right? So almost boarded out 10 unique cards. That's kind of funny. Um, yeah, so we'll try this. Nope, not this one. Do I swap erodes for swords? I probably not. I should have thought about it, but I think the answer is probably not. Um, we'll keep this. With this collection of lands, there's no way that this fetch land can be a surveil. Unless I keep plains and prismatic vista. But I really want to keep the wasteland, so I think I have to put back the plains, and this will just fetch a scrubland. Okay, well that changes things. Now I can do this. Yeah, I think it's the difference isn't huge, and there's like pros and cons for both. When it's like not 100%, my my general direction when it comes to like swords for erode or path is like I only do it when it's like really hard to find reasons where you would not want the other one. If I can like imagine trade-offs, I generally just stick with the plows. Well, Romario, we are 4-0 and up a game versus Vroomsday, so I think we're winning. And we have a deafening silence on the stack. Lots of reasons for us to be pretty happy right now. I am very happy to hear that. Milliforce, okay. Yeah, hashtag pretty happy right now. That's for sure. I could wastelands, but no, I should have wastelanded off of Doomsday there. No, that this was a bad idea. Force. Okay. Yeah, I think they're gonna cast Doomsday, and then I'll be sad. Solitude, huh? Mm, yeah, I'm feeling a little Doomsday. I think I might be dead. Definitely should have wastelanded. Oh, we're alive? No shit. Yeah, they shuffled. Excuse me. Well, all right. I think I'm getting Cloak and Dagger here. Yeah. I can't imagine anything being better than that. We'll see. Okay, flow state. Pretty good. Well, I will take the Doomsday and then wow. You went to Prime sub, but it's not. Oh, thank you. Hey, holy Batman too. Thank you so much for the Prime sub. Hell yeah. Mike, I ain't hearing none of it. I don't care about this Force of Will. I think I just want to take a Cycler. And I guess I take Edge of Autumn. Yo, if they cast Street Wraith, they can be my guest. So this thing is this minus the Edge of Autumn. There we go. I gotta remind people that they can sub with Prime. All right, they're just holding up Hardcast Force. Yo, Mike, that's copium. I got this fair and square. What's the best shell for Bilbo? Is Bilbo the new like Dreadhorde? The like you cast things from your graveyard, they cost one less or whatever. I really have no idea. I have not seen the card yet. I mean, I'll make them use their force here. How do I feel about riding a boat to a cave? Very positively. I can't wait. Does Doomsday kill me here? How do they draw through their pile through a Deafening Silence? Or are you saying it's a multi-turn Doomsday? So it's into 10. This is coming in as 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I am supposed to. They have a million lands in play. Maybe I'm supposed to wasteland anyway just to be safe, but I'm gonna hold up the solitude either way. Um, uh, yeah, we'll go for this. There we go, chat. Arguments of Caracas and recast Cloak. I think I probably would have done that if not for like Solitude presenting lethal. So that's like 3 trophies in 4 streams. That's sick. Only one like really easy matchup too. It's 1.5. What initiative is like easy in certain ways. Well, sick. Yeah, I am really enjoying this card. Doomsday is like the exact kind of matchup where like I think you actually get a lot of equity out of having a thing you can recruit for that is like good once your opponent has more than like 2 lands in play. Like some of the games are just about what's in your opponent's hands, and up until now we haven't really had a card that you can recruit for to do that that isn't like embarrassing otherwise. Like sorry, but Tide Hollow Scholar is not playable anymore. But yeah, that was pretty sick. All right, I'll just do this while we're here. Yeah, someone redeem compliment Tide Hollow. Night, I only drew Night Nurse, I think, twice. It I'm gonna say barely. So, I mostly just like wanted to play that card. I would be surprised if it's good enough, but I think my desire to play it comes from like having a distinct reason to prove people, or I really want to have situations happen where like the difference between it and Samwise comes up, because like Samwise sucked for a lot of the reasons that Night Nurse is better. I'm not sure. I don't think that necessarily means the Night Nurse is actually good, but it's something to think about at least. And I think lifelink, I think if you're playing against a lot of cutter, then I think it might honestly be a card worth playing multiple copies of, because lifelink is just so good in that matchup. Well, all right, chat. You're gonna take a peek behind the curtain real quick. Me making my my trophy posts real technical. I got a real workflow here, guys. There we go. Man, I mean, it really feels like if you don't play against decks with Fantasticar in them, then you do pretty well. Am I going on any clip art? The only thing that I have added to like basically every trophy I've done is I always like to add the "Your Did It" star. Oh shit, that one doesn't. That one's not alphaed out. Hold on. Is this one alpha? There we go. All right. Well, chat, I gotta get to bed. Uh, Sick run. I think that is like 3 out of the last 4 streams have been trophies, and I think the one that was a miss was a 4 one. I'm not 100% sure about that, but we're on a roll. If you don't play against Fantasticar, and apparently even sometimes if you do, it works out pretty well. I am really like Cloak and Dagger. I wouldn't be surprised still if it really ends up being like you want one of them, but and not two, but you definitely want one in your deck. I'm pretty solidly convinced of that at this point. So, and hey, Fantastic Art might be banned in 4 days. Who knows? And we'll see what happens after that. But that is going to be it for me tonight, chat. I'm sleepy. I got to get to bed. And we've got our good friend Harain streaming. I think he's streaming Cube, unfortunately. Not my favorite in the world, but whatever. He's a buddy. We'll go raid him. Everybody have a good night. I will catch you uh next Thursday. Yeah.